Imagine I am like still pitching myself. But you're sitting in front of me in Middle Tennessee.
Ah, so am I.
From West Sydney.
Yeah, I still feel that way. I feel very fresh in town. You know, I've only been here for a couple of weeks, so I'm still pinching myself that I live here now. It's
Right.
crazy.
Right. So what's like the mindset, because you visited so for so many years and
Yeah.
you've come a million times, but like there is a shift, right? Where you move like to live.
Definitely. So I've wanted to live here for literally 10 years. The first time I came to Nashville was in 2014 for the Americana festival. And it was just so beautiful. And I was like, one day I will live here. But it's truly taken that long, plus adding some years of COVID in there to make it extra difficult. But it's really taken that long to actually be able to have a working visa and to be, you know, settled and on ground here. And it's so exciting because, like, it is a shift. It feels like I'm starting to sort of realize, even though it's only been a couple of weeks, I'm like, I do think that I feel different now. Rather than just living out of my suitcase, I'm actually like here, not for a trip. I'm a local. I feel like a local, and I'm going to own it here.
Neighbor Clark.
Yeah, it's been so nice as well when people go, oh, your accent, like, where are you from? And I say I'm from Australia, and they go, oh, how long have you been visiting? And I actually live here.
Wow.
It's so nice.
Amazing. So we've talked about, like, you know, you've missed a little bit of your family and all that. Like,
Yeah.
But it's so great that you kind of envisioned this for your career and you made it happen.
Yeah, thank you. Look, it's really scary. I mean, Australia is very far away. It's kind of the furthest away that you can go, really. And so to really make it in the market that I really want to be in with this kind of rock pop singer-songwriter thing that I'm doing, I just felt like I had to be in America. And that's a sad realization because it's like my best friends and my family are back in Australia. But I think if you really are serious about it, sometimes you've just got to make a really, really big decision and put yourself outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah. And you made this decision a long time ago, like you said.
Yeah. And so I've had a long time to think it over, and every trip that I took here made me more sure that this was the right decision.
Sure.
So I've never doubted that this was the right thing to do. It was all just about tackling that fear and,
Totally.
you know, making it happen.
Totally. And I think you're going to be incredible in Nashville for many reasons. I mean, you are incredibly talented, obviously, but I think just like the type of music that you play. Let's not even talk about like what a great human you are with that. We're so lucky to have you.
Thank you.
But just the fact that like you encompass so many genres.
Yeah.
And there's like a need for like what you do here.
Oh, cool.
Like there's like a burgeoning, growing indie rock scene, if you want to put yourself in that box, or indie pop, because I think you touch on boxes. So I think it's very welcome.
Thank you so much. I feel really grateful for that feedback because it is hard. You know, I think the genre diversity is something that I'm really embracing, especially on my new album. So I feel like, you know, it's hard in Australia to be genre diverse because it's such a small population in Australia. So it's hard to find those niche markets. Whereas here, there's just so many more people and so many more kind of areas of crossover that you can dive into, I guess.
Right. And you mentioned your album. Let's talk about it, The Art of Getting Through.
Yes.
Incredible, first of all. Let me get that out of the way. What?
Thank you so much.
Oh my God. I couldn't believe it. I was driving from Highlands, North Carolina and I played it like for like 2 hours on loop.
Oh my
I
God.
just couldn't believe how good it was.
Oh, best compliment ever.
No, Imogen, it's so good. It's so good. So good. But like, let me first start with the overall, like one of the themes I took, at least from the album, is just like resiliency and kind of overcoming adversity.
Yeah.
You're quite the fighter, aren't you?
Then, thank you. Yeah, look, I feel like without realizing it, most of my music over my life, but particularly this album, really is centered around getting through and picking yourself up off the floor and sort of that whole fall down 7 times, stand up 8 thing where you just make yourself fight to be valued, fight to keep moving, and fight to live a life that you want to live. And so I think that all of that is really a big part of this record. And it's, you know, as you said, it's called The Art of Getting Through. And that's really about, you know, you can't always have a clean slate. And sometimes you can't get over things. Sometimes things burden you and they sort of remain on your shoulders, but you can get through. You can learn how to get through, and the only way out is through. As much as we'd love to skip the pain, we have to experience that in order to know what happiness is.
Yeah. And what got you through, Imogen? I mean, like, is it like faith? Is it family? Like, because you are a very resilient person. It's pretty cool.
Thank you. Look, a lot of things get me through. I feel like the love of the people that I have around me, like you said, family and friends and people I work with, and music, all of that. Music is really a bit of a savior to me. Like, I don't really know what I would have done had I not discovered that I love music so much. It was easy for me to discover that because I grew up in a musical household. But had I not figured it out, or had I figured it out much later, I would have been, I don't think I would have been as happy a person as I am, because I just...
It's who you are.
It is. I mean, it's like, it's in my blood. It's so important to me, and it's so cathartic. And I just feel really grateful for that presence in my life. So really music, and songwriting and being able to express myself through music and creativity is really what's gotten me through the moment.
Yeah. Take me to Penrith High School, friend. Because I just have this fascination with you. Like, what were you like as a little 8th grader,
Oh my gosh.
to the 12-year-old like girl that loved music so much, but also like kind of an awkward teenager?
Totally.
Like, how were you like in high school?
Well, I was a big nerd. So I hold that with pride. I love that I'm a nerd. I studied really hard. I know there's like a really funny sort of stigma that musicians are all like high school dropouts and stuff, but I was so not that.
Like a straight A student?
I was a straight A student. I was a teacher's pet. I was so committed to like being the best possible student. And it's funny because I never used the mark that I got at the end of my high school time, which in Australia we call it an ATAR. So it's like an admission into, that's just New South Wales actually, but it's an admission into, a number that helps get you into certain college degrees. And I'm so proud of my mark, but I've never used it once because I didn't go to university.
Yeah.
I really could have failed it all and it would have been fine. But I'm so grateful I didn't. I really worked hard and it taught me a lot. And, school was, I got bullied a bit. I feel like I was social in that I had a lot of friends in different cliques, but I didn't really fit into any one clique. And I did get quite bullied in early school for being a bit different and for being a songwriter, I guess, and kind of people not really knowing how to take that.
When did you realize that? Could you talk about anything I Want In? One of the songs of the album, just like the unique soul that you are.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Like, did you realize it earlier or
so, look, I think I realized kind of when I started playing gigs professionally, which is hilarious, but it was like 8th grade. That's when 7th or 8th grade was when I started playing music professionally for money in pubs, clubs, cafes. It was my school pocket money job. It was like someone might work at McDonald's. I was playing in pubs, and that was great because I got to cut my teeth in some tough instances, tough Western Sydney pubs that are kind of, they're a bit sketchy. And so, that was great. But I think I realized that pretty early on that I might be a little bit of a, maybe the black sheep or something that just made me feel a little bit different. And I think I learned pretty early, thankfully, to take pain and feeling different and spin it into this positive way of getting something out of life. Like I wore it like a badge of honor rather than wearing it like something I was ashamed of. And I think I don't really know how I learned that. Maybe because my dad is a musician, and my mum is a really strong feminist and always taught me to believe in myself. But also I think maybe it was because I just felt that I'd watched so many singer-songwriters and I was listening to their music all the time, and I found Taylor Swift and I found Joni Mitchell and I found all this different music, and I realized that what set all those people apart was that they were all a bit different and they all grew up feeling different, and they pulled something wonderful from that rather than feeling shame. So maybe that's how I learned that.
Yeah. I mean, I know there's some I love Big One.
Oh, thank you so much.
I mean, you obviously talk about like that pursuit of love.
Yeah.
So hardcore.
Yeah.
Were you always like super like did you struggle with love, is what I should say?
Yeah, I definitely struggled with feeling too much all of the time. Like, when you talk to songwriters, you'll often get that vibe that we just feel a lot of things very deeply constantly, and it's like exhausting. It's like, could I not just chill for 1 second? But I definitely felt like, I remember the first time I got my heart broken, that's when I wrote my first song, and I was like 13 or 14.
Yeah.
And I remember writing this song, and I remember this young boy that I was dating who broke my heart. He didn't really do anything wrong. We were just young, and I remember him getting over it so quickly, and it was months for me. And months as a kid of that.
Yeah, it's like a 2 years. Yeah, a summer is so. Oh,
why do I still feel so depressed? And so I think that's what I struggled with the most, was just like trying to keep my emotions in check, because you're already so emotional and so many hormones at that age.
Sure.
And then also being quite a sensitive person, I was just like, oh wow, I don't know how to deal with relationships, and it would take me many years to learn that, and I'm still learning that.
But you have so much love to give. It's clear.
Oh.
I think it comes like you mentioned your family and everything.
Yeah.
It all makes sense.
Yeah, it does. I am a very loving person. I love to give love to people that I feel, give the same back to me. And when it's this reciprocal thing and it all feels very beautiful, it's like one of the most important things in my life, whether that be friendship or family or a partner, like an intimate partner. It's so important to me that it feels like reciprocal and not one-sided.
Imogen, you have no idea how important that is. Like, because you are love, I think you realize that not everyone lives under that principle.
Yeah.
But and I think that's why every time I connect with you, like, we feel more alive, and the city is going to just like flourish for you, and you're going to kick so much ass.
Oh.
Because you are love.
Oh, thank you.
Not just romantic love, but like, it's just like you're like an essence of love. And I think that's
That's a beautiful thing to say. I appreciate that. I feel like you got to, I don't really believe so much in this cosmic idea of karma, but I believe in karma in the sense that what you put out into the world and how you are with people makes them treat you the same way. If you treat someone with love and care, and you put sort of this positive thing out into the world, that's probably going to come back to you just for the sake of, just because it's how people see you is how they're likely to treat you back. So
totally.
I don't believe in it as this kind of magical cosmic thing. It's just a thing between people, just an interpersonal.
Had you spent more time here in Nashville, like once in a while, you're going to be disappointed by a person or two, as in this music industry.
Absolutely.
Just never lose that. Hey, sometimes it kind of like, it'll slap you sometimes.
Yeah, totally.
But, I'm sure you know. But the essence of you is love, just keep doing that.
Thank you. That is so sweet.
So, Imogen, and I thank you for your time. I know you got a lot going on. I love the visual element of your art, the visual element of your albums, the photography, like the Julia McCarran artwork, like all shit like that. It's like, are you kidding me?
Oh, thank you.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes.
Because it's clearly so important to you, and it complements the sound so perfect.
Thank you so much. I feel the same way in that, it's really important for me that the visuals match the music, and the visuals feel like they're adding something to the music, and vice versa. I never want the visuals to kind of be something that is you can take or leave and is sort of secondary.
Look it up.
It can.
I'm a big like YouTube fan. Like, I love YouTube, but they never did the video. Like, it was fun. They never got him, and it's like, I would have just rather not seen.
Isn't it funny? Yeah, it can totally make or break something. And I think I've been so lucky in that I've worked with some incredible creative people. And Julia McCarran is a Melbourne-based photographer and visual artist and creative director. She is out of this world. I mean, I've had the privilege of working with her on a few occasions. My previous 2 EPs, the front covers of those were also her work. And she outdid herself with the cover of this album. I mean, it's for anyone that hasn't seen it, that's listening, it's this gorgeous image of it's me giant against this backdrop of a small city, which is meant to represent Sydney and Western Sydney, that I'm carrying as sort of a younger, more naive version of myself. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so proud of it. And she did a beautiful job because, you know, that is exactly what the album is to me. It's being your own hero. It's showing up for yourself. It's the fact that you can move through the world and not exactly shed a past version of yourself, because you'll always be carrying those things with you. It's just about moving through and gaining insight as you do. And so that's really what that image means, and she just nailed it.
Dig it. Amazing.
Thank you.
Well, I think you're going to play that song for us, Imogen, but let me leave you with this. You know, I love that. Like, what does it feel to, like, basically be in a city now, neighbors with people that you know and cherish, like Jim Lauderdale or Steve Bolt. People who, like, he just toured Australia, by the way. He was telling me about it.
I know, yes. And I got to open 2 of his shows in Australia, and I love Steve. He's beautiful. Oh, he's just the most wacky.
We were talking like about like some, I forget what we were talking about a couple of weeks ago, something about Miami. He has about Miami, and he made a song about Miami at the spot. I mean,
I completely believe that.
You look like a magician.
His mind is unparalleled. I've never met someone like Steve before.
But is it like wild that like you're now part of this community because you like this is you now?
Thank you. I feel it's surreal and beautiful. You know, those people are people I look up to, and there are so many people in town who I, you know, have gotten to meet and even become friendly with, who are people I admire and really, you know, love their work from afar. And now I feel like I get to be a bit of a part of their lives and a bit of a part of the history of this incredible town. I'm just very grateful to be here.
And now you're putting a new chapter. Amazing. You want to take a story with a song?
Yeah. I'm Imogen Clark, and this is my song, The Art of Getting Through. I can't feel which way the wind blows. I don't know what's north or south. I've been walking over mirrors. I've been lost for some time now. And I don't take it all for granted, but I sure wish that I could see why our greatest loves become our greatest peace. And this is the art of breaking into. This is the art of saying who knew. This is the art of choking on fuel. This is the art of getting through. I've been shaking in the morning, I've been trembling in the night, wondering if I've got the strength that it takes to be alive. And is there purpose in the mountain? Is it beauty by design? Come to realize that we need hope to survive. And this is the art of breaking into two. It ain't nothing like the movies. It's out of sync in black and white. You're lower than you thought you could be, and you're higher than a kite. And there's no path of least resistance when you're running down the dream. The war is raging in the distance, and it's calling out for me. This is the art of breaking into two. This is the art of saying you. This is the art of choking on you. This is the art of getting through. is the art of getting through. Yeah, this is the art of getting through. Yeah, this is the art of getting through.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here for the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from J-Rod Concert Media.